Oh my gosh, you're watching the video. Welcome. I'm so glad that you're here today. If you're watching this, you are probably interested in learning a little bit more about this thing called counseling. I'm so glad you're here today. So my name is Janelle. I'm a therapist, and my favorite age to work with is you all, teenagers. It is such a special time of life where you are figuring out who you want to be, what you want to do, and what is most important to you. So here's the deal. There are a lot of myths about counseling, right? These ideas that we have about counseling that quite honestly sometimes keeps us from walking through the door or calling for that first appointment. So I'm hoping that we can debunk some of those today. So maybe you think that if you go to counseling, you're gonna have to lay on a couch. Or maybe you think you're gonna have to read ink blots. Maybe you think that therapists are old, they wear fuzzy and itchy sweaters, and they just ask you a bunch of questions and go, tell me more about that, Or maybe you think that therapists are so out of touch with your world that they couldn't possibly understand what is going on in your life or be helpful. Or maybe everything you know about counseling is from the movies and TV shows. Or maybe you've heard that counseling is for what? This is a big one, everybody. Counseling is only for people that are crazy. And what would people think if they found out that you were going to counseling or seeing a therapist? These are all myths, and they're not true. So I am really excited to debunk some of these myths today. So here's the deal. Counseling is for anybody going through the everyday stuff of life. So now that we've talked about what counseling is not, let's talk a little bit about what counseling is. Counseling is for anybody that is feeling a lot of pressure at school. Maybe your classes are really tough and you're having a hard time keeping up. Maybe for the first time in your life, you're noticing some learning and processing pieces that in the past haven't bothered you, but it's making classes really tough this year. Maybe it feels like everybody around you knows exactly what college they want to go to and what they want to do with the rest of their lives, and you're not really sure, and that scares you. Maybe your self-esteem took a hit this year. And every time you look in the mirror, you don't like what you see. And your self-esteem is only as high as the person that you happen to be comparing yourself to in that moment. Maybe you just broke up with your boyfriend or your girlfriend for the first time and you're really sad and you don't know if you're ever gonna feel okay again. Maybe you're feeling really lonely and you are doing your best to connect, and even though you are surrounded by people, you still feel really alone. Maybe last year everything was great in your friend group, and then you came back to school this year and everything changed, and it's hard to understand why it always feels like the friend group is slipping through your fingers. Maybe you came back to school this semester and you're just feeling like you're in a funk and you can't shake it. Maybe for the first time in your life, every day you wake up and it's a struggle to get out of bed, or you're feeling really sad, really down. You're having a lot of negative thoughts about self. Or maybe you're feeling scared and anxious all the time and you don't know why because nothing has happened. Maybe your family is fighting at home and you don't know how to make it stop. Maybe you really want to connect with your mom and dad, but you're confused why every time you try, it ends up in a fight. Maybe you don't know how to put words to what you're going through. Maybe you don't know how to ask for what you need. Maybe you really don't even know how to identify what it is that you need right now. Maybe you feel like you're asking for help, but nobody's hearing you. Maybe you feel like anybody that you've tried to talk to doesn't get it, or they don't know how to help you. Maybe COVID was really tough and you're feeling a little bit like you're not ready for the next stage, right? You feel like a couple of those years in the pandemic got stolen from you and everybody is asking you to keep moving forward, but you're not sure if you're ready. Maybe life is just moving too fast and you just need to say, hang on, slow down. I need a minute to check in to see how I'm really doing, because if I keep trying to push it at this pace, I don't know if I'm gonna be okay, and I really feel like I'm about to lose myself. So these are all really good reasons to come to counseling. And I just want to encourage you right now, whatever it is, and I'm telling you, whatever it is that you are going through, counseling can be a safe place for you where you don't have to do these things by yourself, where we can rally the adults around you to say, hey, we got you, and we're going to figure this out, and it's going to be okay.